Hey everybody, this is a SOMIFA playoff game, semifinal game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm a little late in joining. We already had an opening drive by San Francisco that resulted in a field goal, eight-play, 61-yard drive, stopped at the Cincinnati 14. And the Bengals are answering with their own drive. They started on their own 25, and they are now into San Francisco territory. Um, these two teams, San Francisco was the number 4 seed at 11-5. Jay was 10-6, so the number 5 seed, I believe, or pitch out right to Jay Ajayi here. So they're two pretty even teams record wise, but as you can see, two quality coaches. I think I would have to give the talent side because this is not a great Derek Carr card to San Francisco, and because I think if I remember right, Jay has a bunch of zeros and fours on defense, but maybe not a bunch, but a few. I'll tackle right draw to Jay Ajayi, second and 11. There's a 22-yard gain. He hits an edge by Ajayi. But Ed's got some fours and zeros at linebacker. I guess everybody this year is going to have fours and zeros at linebacker, so maybe that's not the best indicator. But the secondary looks strong for San Francisco. Ed calls a good game. Eric Weddle run call to Marquise Goodwin, 3-minute zone, gets strong. Carr hits a 4 on his card. It's a +10. But Snacks Harrison, Jason Pierre-Paul, Nate Orchid are on the line for Ed. It's got 5s everywhere in the secondary except for Weddle's a 6. So along with you got Kyle Fuller, Malcolm Jenkins, and Josh Norman. So very strong defense in the secondary, pretty strong on the line. I'll tackle draw right again as Ed brings people up to the line. See, Ed doesn't leave a lot of openings there. So you still have men in the zone. Hits the dreaded 5. It goes nowhere. That'll be second and 10. So their drives both reached just outside the 10. Let's see if Jay can cash it in or if he's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt as well. 2 long drives have resulted in just these first 2 possessions for these teams. If you have a whole game of this, you can go a whole game with only getting like 4 drives a half. Slant to Tyler Higbee, single cover by a 4, but guessed wrong on Carr's card. Yeah, Goodwin being double teamed. Baldwin is a max receiver short. Goodwin has some high yardage. Baldwin's got decent yardage too in this card set. Not great. You do see a few long gains, and you have a nice card. On the long pass card, you have that long gain on 7. 3rd and 10, he stays in a base formation. Not that I think he'll run it here, but this will give Ed an opportunity to double team 2 guys. But maybe that's what Jay wants. He wants to be able to run, try to hit, go behind those 6s and set up a 4th down. Nope, he's going for a slant to Higbee, single covered. So Ed had a 60% chance of, or 40% chance of doubling the right 2 people by doing the double, but instead it hit one of the ones that wasn't double teamed, and he gets down to the 1. Even double teamed there would have been complete, as that was a good roll for Jay. So this is going to be a pounded in type of situation behind these 3 6s. These guys, these 4 run blockers get boosted up to a 5. So look for him to go line buck here to Forte or Ajayi. There's an inside run to Ajayi, run call 2-minute zone. And left guard +3 or -1. One of those 4s that got boosted up to a 5. The only way to stop him was to get a white die 6. And that's what Ed got. So it'll be 2nd and 2. 2nd and goal from the 2 to be more accurate. But again, look at when you're facing a 3-4 and you have like 1 yard to go, you're better off going line buck than off tackle because you have a lot more negatives on the off tackle column with 2-minute zone. Inside run to Ajayi. Wrong call. And it's a 6-yard pickup, guessed right. On the halfback card, And that'll be a touchdown for Jacksonville J. We call him that because he's Jacksonville and SSFA. Tom gave him that nickname, I think. But in this, he's Cincinnati J. And the Bengals, they're not playing in the jungle. They're playing in San Francisco. So Ed, as the home team in the semifinals, gets the good pass card, average run card. And meanwhile, Jay has to defend with average against the run, average against the pass. They both run a 3-4. So here's those zeros I was talking about. Jay's got 3 pass defender zeros at the linebacker level, 2 4s where we saw Ed had 5s. I'll tackle right to Bilal Powell. Nobody's in the zone though, so blocking back +7 or +5. That picks up 5. Since he's in a 2 tight end set, he's got 2 6 tight ends on the edge, Mercedes Lewis and Rob Gronkowski. Neither of them are rated as a blocking back, so they can only play tight end in our rule set. I need to share this broadcast link out on the forum. Didn't have that crash. It's run call 3-minute zone. Didn't have that crash this time. It's an 11-yard pickup and a new set of downs for San Francisco. This version of Strat-O-Matic Football has that crash bug. So over here, now to the 33. We got a pass call, curl to Devontae Adams 3-minute zone. And it's a dump off for 7 yards. Let's take a look at those pass blockers for Ed. He's got a 5-5, 4-3, 6-7, 4-3, and 6-5. So the weaknesses are at the guard spot: 4 against the run and 3 against the pass. That will come up in certain pass rush matchups. So 2nd and 3, it's a quick out left to Gronk against the run call. There's a 0 there. And it's a white die 6, picks up 9. So that's what Jay's going to have to contend with. He's got zeros at left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, strong safety covering Gronk, and left cornerback PJ Williams covering Demarius Thomas. Tre'Davious White, who has a 5, is on Devontae Adams. It's a quick slant to Gronk, so he brings some guys down. Has got an empty zone to shoot at, so he doesn't even need a white die 6. Goes in the quarterback's card for a short gain. Now, we haven't talked about Ed's quarterback. He's got Carson Palmer, along with Bilal Powell, who's got this crazy good, I think he has a long gain on 4 or 10 in this set. On a line buck, so a long gain on 10, some more good hits on the edges, and off tackle is good too. He's got some good big hits on the edges as well. So that might be the story of the game. Slant to Gronk, 2 men coming, 3 men in the short pass zone, and it's a dump off for 20 yards. It was a asterisk was the pass rush rating, the pass rush test, and there was no asterisk pass rushers. Everybody can always have an asterisk pass rusher, even if you don't have a defensive end or linebacker that has that, because if you free safety blitz, that is what is used. And he's a 10 asterisk, so you can bring him down. So that's the end of the first quarter. 7-3 Bengals on top of the Niners, but the Niners are driving. Matt Breida comes into the game. Breida has over 100 carries, so he's unlimited in either half. He's got more of a steady card at this spot, so you don't need the big hitters. That's why Ed takes out Powell. Slant to Gronk, not getting much double team coverage, so Ed just keeps going back to him. Jay's more content to bring the linebackers. The sack champ at that time was Eddie Goldman, who was a 3 pass rusher against Alex Mack's 7. So 2nd and 3 inside the 10. I just have my volume down. I don't think that affects the broadcast, but just in case, if you're just joining me now because I have my volume all the way down, welcome to the game. 7-3 Bengals on top of the Niners. Ed goes full house with Breida and Vereen. Short pass to Derek Carr. I believe there's 4 men in zone. Yep. Guess wrong, 4 men. Receiver reading. Derek Carrier. It's a good number on his card. Looks like about a 50-50 chance there. And it goes positive. If it would have called pass, it would have been incomplete. Now we have this bug here that if it's a touchback, there's an extra point is bad. So instead of 10-7, it's 9-7. So if it goes into the end zone, I'm going to proactively quit. See what happens here. Nope, we're good. Goes down to the 4-yard line, returns 18 yards. There's this bug in Strat. If it goes into the end zone and they take a knee, whether it's a touchback or just a deep kick, it will hang. Hopefully they'll fix that in the next version. That's only when you're using the watch game feature. If you're playing the game, no problem, which I guess is more important. Cincinnati gets the ball back, quick slant to Kyle Rudolph, single covered, there's a 0 there. Incomplete, receiver reading on Rudolph's card. That'll bring up second and 10 to 22. We might be on here. Usually long delay. Yeah, I'm gonna get back in again. Might have just been my computer, but regardless, we don't want to miss too much of the action. Waiting for them to click if it wasn't a crash. What's the wrong IP? So they might have crashed too because it's not coming in. Keep an eye open for a new IP, or not an IP, it's a game ID now. All right, we got a new game ID here. Hopefully it'll pick up where we left off. Second and 10 at the 22. That's where we're at. I'll tackle draw right to Ajayi. There's nobody there. And it hits a 4 on Ajayi's card. Ed was double teaming the second tight end and Doug Baldwin. Third and 6, and Ed goes 3-3-5. Jay stays in the 2 tight end set. Could try to run it behind those sixes or just try to throw a flat pass. But again, you're likely to see Ed double team 2 guys. Higbee's covered by a 4. Ajayi is covered by a 4. Everyone else is covered by 5. So the free safety is a 6. Double teaming Goodwin double teaming Baldwin and Ajayi, and it's a fly to Goodwin. So 0 men in zone, guessed right, and it's a dump off for 13 yards to Tyler Higbee. That takes it out to the 39. We talked about Ed's pass blocking. Jay's got a 6'7" in Whitworth, who was matched up against Nate Orchard that time. Roger Saffold, 6'5". Marquise Pouncey, 6'7". John Jerry, 4'7", and Matt Khalil, 4'4". So Jay's got the better pass blocking. Pitch out right to Ajayi. It's a run call by Ed. He put 2 men in a flat. Offensive onside tackle +5 or +0, and he picks up 5 thanks to Andrew Whitworth. San Francisco up 9-7, 11:42 to go. Both of these guys have gone on long drives on each of their first 2 possessions, and that's where we're at. We're San Francisco, long drive field goal, inside run to Ajayi, 1 man there. It's a pass call. So guess wrong, 1 man. Offensive left guard, that time it's John Jerry coming up short. Second time we've seen that today, 3rd and 5. So we had a long drive by San Francisco, field goal, long drive by Cincinnati, touchdown. Long drive by San Francisco, touchdown, missed the extra point, and now Cincinnati has their long drive going. So we're at 10 minutes to go in the half, and each team's only had the ball twice. Big 3rd down here. Look at the ball possession chart. 2 drives so far. So each team having a trouble stopping them on defense. Inside run draw to Ajayi. There's a 6 there. Ed was in a 3-3-5, so it's a 6-4. So 4 against the run block. It'll be contained on 2 and 3. I'm sorry, on 1 and 2 on the white die, but it was a white die 2, but it hit a bad number. So containment wasn't even a factor as it was a dreaded 5. And with 4th and 5, you're not going to try to go for it there. So Jay punts it back to Ed. And no gain. So Ed will start deep in his own territory at the 9. 10-12 to go in the first half. The winner of this game goes to the SOMIFA Super Bowl against the winner of Seattle and Detroit, which is going to be played tomorrow night. 2 tight end set. Allow Powell back there. Remember, he wants those chances at hitting those edge numbers on Powell. So he has him in there in this spot. It's a screen left to Powell as Jay tries to plug the line. Nobody's there. Guessed right. But it's guessed wrong on the receiver reading because his guy assigned to coverage was blitzing. So if he wouldn't have moved him, it would have been a 4-yard gain. Instead, it's an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Palmer so far, 11 of 12 for 137. Like I said, there's some definite holes to look for, on that Cincinnati defense. Inside run to Powell. There's a 4 nose tackle. Eddie Goldman, who will be a 6 next year, I believe. He had a really good rating on PFF, and the Bears had a really strong defense. So look for him to get bumped up from a 4 to a 6. Been a couple years coming for Goldman. That was a 3-yard pickup and a first down as San Francisco gets it out to the 20. Second quarter. Off tackle left to Powell. 1 man's there. Guessed wrong. And it's a 6-yard pickup. So Ed's trying to hit that 2, 3, 6, or 12. Those are some big numbers, some of them really big. You can score from here if you roll that boxcars. So Ed will stick with the run as much as possible. And Jay has mixed in the run calls, but Ed's caught him off balance by throwing flat. In response, off tackle left to Powell. Again, there's a man in zone, but again, it's guessed wrong. And offensive tackle +6 or +1, that's Taylor Lewan. best run blocker on his line, along with 2 tight ends and Alex Mack. So a lot of good run blocking here. Only 2 4s, a 5, and 3 6s. So those challenges are going to come up positive more often than not. You have to commit to calling run. It's a bomb to Demaryius Thomas. He is being double covered by Devin McCourty. Nice call there by Jay. But it's a dump off to Gronk for 13 yards. So that's what Ed will do. He'll run, get you to call run, and then boom, he's going to beat you over the top. 12 of 13 for Palmer so far. Slant to Mercedes Lewis, single covered. Oh no, he's covered by a 0. Jamal Shear. Doesn't matter though, his rating didn't come up, but his receiver card did, and he gets another good roll. So Ed dialing up all the right plays at the right time, moving the ball up and down the field. Jay's only down 2 points though, so if he can stop him here, hold him to a field goal even, he'll get the ball back with one last chance to get points himself, and Cincinnati gets the ball first in the second half. Quick slant to Gronk. There's that run call. There's a man there, but he's a 0. Good result for Jay, because on the offensive card or on the receiver card, there could have been a lot of big numbers there. Good pace to this game so far, 2nd and 7. Quick out right to Lewis. This is a short yardage defense. So run call, white die 6, 9 yards. And another completion for Palmer. 15 of 16 for 174. It's hard to stop Ed. If you've got a lot of holes on defense, you need to be doing some excellent double teaming or guessing right. Even when Jay's double teamed correctly, there's that dump off, giving him positive yardage regardless. Inside run to Powell. There's 2 men there, but it's a pass call. It goes on the defensive card. Linebacker in zone -1 or +3, and that's Vontaze Burfict. Vontez is better. Yeah, Vontez Burfict. Got that hazy fantasy, shiny on my mind, I guess. Vontez Burfict, and that's a callback to the 80s for those who are into alternative rock. Inside run to Powell, guess wrong, my end zone. So he's dropping a linebacker to help out Goldman. That's a 0-yard gain as the left guard can't make the block, James Carpenter. So 3rd and 11 at the Cincinnati 32. Good chance to get a stop here. Let's take another quick look at Jay's pass rush. Vincent Mayowa, a 4-2. That's not good. Eddie Goldman, 4-2. That's not good. Anthony Zettle's a 6-7. He's going up against a 6-5, though. So 7 against a 5. No help from Vincent Ray. A little bit of help from Burfict, but you might want to leave him in there for containment. A little bit of help from Galette. So you don't see him free safety blitzing because he just doesn't have the guys that are going to answer well on the test. The post to Gronk. Single cover. There's a 5 free safety in the zone. Plus 25 on Gronk's card. Again, every single receiver rating is hitting so far. I can't even remember the only incompletion. Maybe that happened before I tuned in. But that takes inside the 10. So couldn't draw a line in the sand there. If he would have been blitzing, free safety blitzing, that would have been a disaster because that would have been a long gain and a touchdown. He hit the 6 sniper scope with a 1X. 3:36 to go in the half. He can still make a stand, but it gets a lot tougher here. 1st and goal to 7. Palmer having a dream first half. He's got to have a perfect quarterback already. It's a run called in that breed 1 end zone. Tackle right, linebacker in zone -4 or -1 or +4. And it wasn't Burfict. That time it's Carlos Dansby on that side of the line. He's only a 4. So Ed knows where those holes are. If Jay would have left 2 guys in there, would have been a loss of 1. Second and goal to 3. Ed's using it more time, making it harder on Jay to score. He wants to get that 2-score lead. Instead, run to Burita, 2-man in zone. It's a run call. Center +2 or +0. That's third and goal to 1. Using up another 30 seconds or so. Takes it down to 2:24. Third and goal to 1. Alex Max a 6. All those guys get a boost when you're in the full house, and he'll undoubtedly stay in the full house. Vereen, Carrier, Powell, Palmer. So he's going to run it probably with Powell or Palmer. So you want to try to key one of those guys, or maybe you just call run. Hopefully you hit a number that stops it. No, he's mixed it up and goes slant 3-man zone to Gronk, who's a max receiver, and defender X or short gain, and Jamal Adams, who's a 4 in this set, makes the play on a white die 1 with NFL Ed. Go big or go home. That's only Palmer's second completion of the day. Yes, he's going to try to get it in the end zone here. And this is an opportunity for Jay. You have to do exactly the right call, double team the right guy or key the right runner. You got 3 guys who can carry it, running the ball. You got 2 guys that are probably going to get it passing the ball, Gronk or Thomas. Both of them are max. Curl to Thomas, run call, 4-man in zone. Could be a reading on the defensive card that could come up short. But if it's on the offensive card, it's going to be a completion. And it's a receiver reading touchdown. He would have had to call pass, and he would have been able to keep it out. But Ed decides to, this is the playoff. This is not time to pussyfoot around. I'm gonna try to punch it in, and this will make it a 9-point lead. Assuming he doesn't roll 11 again, and he doesn't. Palmer, 17 of 19 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. I haven't looked at the box score yet, but I gotta imagine. Okay, so this is gonna go to the end zone. He's gonna sit on it. I'm gonna exit. I have to imagine that Palmer has a perfect quarterback rating right now. This has been a dream first half for the Niners. Now Jay has a chance here. He's gonna get the ball to start the second half, but he needs to go down and get some points here. Jay Ajayi in the backfield, still in a 2 tight end set. Ed goes 3-3-5. Pitch out right to Ajayi, trying to get a nice run and get out of bounds. Picks up 5 and does not get out of bounds. White die must have been on 5. It was. 2nd and 5 at the 30. You got to at least get a field goal here to make it a single score game and give yourself a chance to take the lead with that opening drive at the 3rd quarter. Let's see if I'm right about Palmer after this play. See if he does have that perfect quarterback rating. Off tackle right to Ajayi. Jay has 3 timeouts, so he'll use those liberally. Oh, man. Just not a good roll. Guessed wrong. He's got some big numbers on the edges, too. But he's got a couple of sketchy ones. Guessed wrong. 5, 8. Whoever he has, 5's a problem. But 6 and 9. Get you next to nothing. Now Ed's thinking I can stop and get the ball back and put some more points up. 107 to go. Are any of these guys 0 against the run? No, they're all 4s. Well, the outside guy is. He could run an end run at Jalen Smith and hope for a 2 or 3. Or run behind those 6s and hope it goes in the D card. Or is it 3? Or card's very good flat. A little flat. No, he does try to go at that 0. No containment there on defensive end +1 or +5. No containment on 2 or 3, but you're running at that 5 defensive end. 4th and 4, and Jay will punt as San Francisco uses a timeout. So before Palmer starts throwing incompletions here, take a quick look at his 15 first downs for San Francisco. And he has just about a perfect completion quarterback rate. Oh, it's a block punt. So everything's coming up roses for San Francisco, as they don't even have to worry about driving down to get points. They're going to get the ball inside the 25. 52 seconds left. That's time enough for a touchdown. A disastrous sequence here for the Bengals. In games like this, it sometimes feels like that the opponent's getting every single roll, go their way, and it kind of looks that way. But there's a whole other half of Strat-O-Matic football to go. Got to stop them holding the field goal here. Give yourself a chance with your own touchdown to get back within a single score. Tackle right to Powell. Get strong, nobody there. We haven't seen one of those big number on Powell's card yet. There's 5 yards. But a 6 or 3 or 2 or 12 obviously is going to get it into the end zone. Ed uses his second timeout 45 seconds ago. Jay has had a remarkable season. Both Tom and I in our season preview had him finishing out of the playoffs. He beat those expectations. Won his first round playoff game, or the first 2 playoff games. Go pull up the standings at halftime. And made it to the Final Four. And one unlucky half of football doesn't end those dreams. He still's got time. Just needs to make 2 more good calls here. Off tackle right to Powell. He's being keyed with 2 minutes on. That's an excellent call. And that would have been a touchdown if he got strong there. So 75-yarder. So good stuff there. Needs to get 1 more good call and make it a 19-7 game. And he used the timeout there. Interesting. He didn't want to go hurry up because he wanted to get that 3 wide formation. So he brings in Trent Taylor as his third wide receiver and Matt Breida as the halfback. So look for a flat pass here, I bet. And Jay's got a 1 in 5 chance of double teaming the right guy. No, he goes for a run, inside run draw to Breida. Perfect's there, so it's on the halfback card. It's not going anywhere. He double team Gronk, and it's a white die 1. So that's definitely not going anywhere. Now Jay should use a timeout here to give himself a chance for a long kick return and maybe a field goal. And he does. 16-7 Niners, looking to make it 19-7. Good stand there by the Bengals after the blocked punt. So that blocked punt's going to cost them 3 points. And there's 22 seconds left in the half. -3. Now he might return it here, just figuring what the heck. I think it's 31 yards. And that was just about the best roll he could hope for, 31 or 41. So I went to the number 2 returner. His number 1 guy is a little bit better than that, if I remember right. Oh, no, I think he's a lone returner. So let's look real quick. Team notebook away. The kick returner 1 and kick returner 2 are both Erickson. So that is exactly the same card. 15 seconds to go, 28-yard line. So he almost would have, if that's all you can get is 41 yards and you're 3 yards deep, you're better off just taking a knee. Off tackle right to Ajayi, hoping to hit that +71. Instead, he gets 4 yards as the nose tackle. Davon Harrison makes the play. Another timeout for Jay here. Might as well take a couple of shots, try to get that big hitter. If he hits it here, anytime you can find the end zone, it's worth a carry. But Ajayi's only got 6 carries left. So he needs a +71 on snake eyes on an off tackle will get him into the end zone. You might as well do that since you don't have much reward here besides the 2 on a line book. The other numbers at the edge of the off tackle, 21 and 22, is not going to get you in field goal range. It's a curl to Marquise Goodwin being double covered by a linebacker, and it's incomplete. Carr's only thrown 7 passes in the first half as Jay's kept it on the ground. This will be the last play of the half. He brings in Luke Stalker, who is not going to run the ball. Let's see if he's got a dot. He's limited to 12-yard reception. So why are you bringing Stalker in? Oh, for his 3 pass blocking. So this is likely not going to do anything. 34 max for Rudolph. Now the receivers are all unlimited because of the new rule we put in. So maybe do a look in past the Moncrief. Try to get a lucky snake eyes on the defensive card. It's a hitch to Goodwin. He's being double teamed by a linebacker. It's guess strong, goes 9 yards, and that's the end of the half. So San Francisco, behind an impressive performance by Carson Palmer, had a 19-7 lead. So both coaches are going to take a 2-minute break. Let's take a look at the box score. I wasn't taking a look at the standings. Remember? Let me do that real quick. So let's see what we got here. So Cincinnati did not have to play because there was only 10 teams in the playoffs, so it stands there. Bengals were the 6th team. So instead of just the first 5 teams getting a bye, the 6th seed also got a bye. I think I earlier said Bengals were the 5th seed. They were the 6th seed, but they got a bye as well because only 10 teams make the playoffs. So they avoided having to play in round 1. In round 2, they took out Oakland 31-17. That's Jeff Bevier, and who was, I believe, the number 3 seed. Yeah, Oakland Raiders number 3 seed. Strong season. And so now he's facing Ed. Ed took out Atlanta, which is Nathan, I think. Atlanta 10-6. Let's take a quick look at the SOMIFA rosters. So what led us? If we have time, let's look at real quick. So Jay didn't trade a lot of his picks away. He got an extra 3rd-round pick because he probably saw this as with all the good pass blocking, he was going to try to make the playoffs. But Tom and I saw these 4s on defense and predicted doom and gloom for him. Only 2 5s in the secondary, no 5s at linebacker, and only 1 5 on the defensive line. Let's see if I can find out my predictions real quick. So here we are. So Tom had Cincinnati at 6-10. I had them at 7-9, just outside the playoffs. We both had good things predicted for San Francisco at 11-5. We finished at 11-5. Fully for us. But they made it to the Final Four. Let's see how we predicted the other finalists. So Seattle predicted 13-3 and 14-2. No chance. I was 12-4. And Detroit, we had predicted at 11-5 and 10-6. They finished 9-7, had some bad luck games, but they're right there in the Final Four. So not too shabby. I don't see our Super Bowl predictions here. It's all right. Oh, we got the bug. Wasn't paying attention. So let's get back in there. Cancel. So this is an important drive for Jay. If he wants a chance to get back in this game, a nice long drive. He already had an incomplete pass or a run for no gain to start off the drive. Forte comes into the game as Ajayi's carries are used up. So a disastrous second quarter for the Bengals as they fall behind after leading 7-3 after the first. They really haven't stopped Ed today, aside from holding to a field goal on a few drives. Button hook to Forte. We got the second tight end and Marquise Goodwin or Doug Baldwin being doubled. Short game there. That's exactly what Jay needed. So new set of downs. Let's take a quick look at the halftime stats. So since he had 9 first downs, Ajayi only ran for 58 yards. The running games on both teams are shut down. Powell only ran for 23 yards and Breida for 16, but it's been Carson Palmer and being on fire is really what, and the block punt, which is like a turnover. Quick out right to Kyle Rudolph. Ed has one man in the zone for a run and was double teaming the other receiver that time on the outside, that time Marquise Goodwin. So he's paying a lot of attention to Higbee and Baldwin, but he's not just solely focusing on them. He's mixing in Goodwin, Rudolph, and I'm sure he'll double Forte when he sets his mind to it. Carr's not so bad. 7 of 11 for 81 yards. I mean, he's not Carson Palmer good, but he's got the team near midfield on a 2nd and 5. Off tackle right to Forte. There is a man there. Guessed wrong. Picks up 3. Good stuff there by Ed. Without that, that would have been an 11-yard gain. So you can't just run behind the 6s all the time. And we saw Jay effectively use some draws, but Ed also calls runs. So you can't just continually draw thinking he's never going to call run. He will call run. 3rd and 2, 12:54 to go in the third quarter. Crossing pattern to Baldwin. 2 men are at the line of scrimmage. They're not rushing. 3 men in zone on the defense. Carr's got quite a few blanks on his card, and it's a dump off, but not a good dump off, as it hits a receiver reading for Ajayi, who was in the game because it was good guest right running. And 4th and 2, Jay does not go for it. He decides to punt. Doesn't want to give Ed another short field. He's going for the coffin corner. It's a big number. Is that going to take off enough yards? Yes, it is. Nice pin there by Britton Colquitt as he gets the 49ers down to the 5. But of course, like we said earlier, Jay hasn't stopped the 49ers today. Look at the ball possession chart. They've had field goal, touchdown, touchdown, field goal. Each drive going. Well, the last one was after the block punt, so that kind of was like a stop. At 8 plays, 63 or 61, 8 plays, 83, 15 plays, 91. Inside run to Powell, guessed right. There's 2 men there. Guessed wrong, excuse me. It's a pass call. Offensive center +5 or +0, and that's Alex Mack. Couldn't have done anything about that. Even if you would have keyed and put 2 men there. When the reading's on the D card, all that matters is the number of men in zone, and he had the max men in zone, but running behind that 6, got 5 yards. It would have been 7 with no men in zone, assuming that there was at least one linebacker there, and a 10 with 1 man in zone. So his plug did help. Quick out right to Gronk. Guessed right pass call, but nobody's in the zone as he's stuffing this line of scrimmage. That goes on the D card again for a 9-yard gain. So Carson hasn't lost his magical touch yet. "20 passes, 18 completions. That's pretty good. Over 200 yards too, so it's not like he's dinking and dunking on me. We got 11 unfatigued carries left for Powell. It's a run call. 1 man in zone, guessed wrong. Going to Thomas. And it hit the blank on Palmer's card. He was covered by a 4. 1X, so no dump off. No dump off anyway because it was a run call, but Powell's in there again, 2nd and 10. See, sometimes you can make a wrong call and you're actually the right call. There's times that no matter what, you're going to get a completion. But that time, no matter what Ed did on a long pass, a 5 is incomplete, right, wrong, or double. Another fly covered, this time to Javonte Adams. There's nobody in the zone. It's a run call, hoping to catch Ed going for a run to Powell to hit a big number on 2nd and long. Instead, it's a bomb, but he's not hurt by it as it rolls a 7 on Palmer. It's hard to complete a long pass, people, in the NFL or in Strat-O-Matic. So it was a D. So if he would have been calling pass, it could have been a dump off. So here we go, 3rd and 10. Ed goes 3 wide. Benny Cunningham checks into the game in the backfield. Imagine he can catch a little bit. He's only a 0 pass blocker. He can catch a short pass. It's a crossing pattern to Thomas. He's being double covered by a linebacker. It's a dump off +2 or +8, and it is a stop. The first time all day that we're going to see a punt by Ed. So we got Britton Colquitt for the Bengals and Dustin Colquitt for the Niners. Brother on brother punting action. Long punt, 59 yards, and it's a fair catch by Alex Erickson, who's doing kick return and punt return duties today. $9:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. That really shifted the field position around, though, because if you remember right, the Bengals had it near midfield, and those couple of first downs and the booming punt with no return has pinned the Bengals on their side of the field deep. Off tackle draw right to Forte. The outside receivers are being doubled. There's nobody in the zone. 6 run blockers, so this could be a good play. Instead, we get a 2-yard gain as, oh man, Forte is not the spryest set of legs in the set. Little Jai, he wouldn't have been much better on that, probably. At least Forte has a short gain on 7. You need to hit that. Second and 7. Off tackle draw right again. There's a man there. Baldwin being doubled. That man there won't count because of the D card, because of the draw. Instead, it hits that 7, so Forte says, yeah, I may miss a step here and there, but I can hit a good number now and then. Short gain on 7, short gain on 3, plus 20 on 12. A nice drive where you move the chain running the ball. Nothing wrong with that. You don't want to give up on running the ball. Even if you're down by 12 here, you just get a nice long drive together, and you'll be in good shape. Screen right to Forte. Picks up 4, guessed right. Forte is a good receiver, as he's been his whole career. Second and 6, 3rd quarter, 7:30 to go. A run as Ed mixes it up, but it's a good one. So nice anticipation there by Jay. And he hits a receiver reading for +51. Guessed wrong. And that's going to take it down to the 10-yard line. That is what the Bengals needed. Derek Carr audibles at the line of scrimmage. Well, not really, but I'll just say that. And he gets the defense making run. And he hits a receiver reading just when he needed it. It's a good one. Now, so you can't go away from your big weapons there. Ed has been double teaming those guys a lot, but this time he switches it up with a run call and a favorable result for the Bengals. They got to punch it in here. Ed going 3-4 showing blitz. How are his pass rushers? It's a run call. Screen right to Forte. Guess wrong. 1 man in zone. This should be good. It's a 9-yard pickup down to the 1. So it'll be second and goal at the 1. Carr's heating up now. 10 of 15 for 145. Ajayi back in the game. He's got a limited number of carries left. 6 left for him, 11 left for Forte. 21 minutes left in the game. How about a sneak to Carr? Save those carries. It's a run to Ajayi. He says, carries be damned. I want this in the end zone. Linebacker in zone, -1 or +3, though. And again, Ed got a favorable roll there. It's the second time we've seen him keep Jay out, at least for a play. Remember, Ed had a 4th and 1 that he went for and threw for the touchdown. What will Jay do on 3rd and 2? 3rd and goal at the 2. 5:42 to go in the third quarter. Another run to Ajayi. He's like, you can't do that twice in a row, dude. Oh, and he loses a yard. 4th and 3. Do you kick a field goal here and go down 9? Probably. Especially with Carr, who's not great short. Yeah. A lot of time left. So you get down to the 1, and you got to be a little bit disappointed about not punching it in. But you have managed to cut into the lead, and you were able to make Ed punt for the first time. So those are all positive developments. But man, 2 really big plays in a row followed by 2 disappointing plays. Oh man, I forgot about the bug. Don't care about that. At least Strat will know the test for this for the next set. Okay, run against a crossing pattern to Thomas. So this is going to be guessed wrong. 3-minute zone. Picks up 10 and a first down. So Jay's hoping to get another stop and force a punt here. Off tackle right to Powell. 1 man in zone. Guessed wrong. Picks up 2. Offensive onside tackle Marcus Gilbert in his 5 run rate. He couldn't make the block against the 6. So Ed doesn't get every roll. That roll, 2/3 of the time, he's going to pick up 5 yards. Instead, he only got 2. 2nd and 8. Powell has 10 unfatigued carries left, but Ed has a pretty good backup too, if I remember right. Slant to Mercedes Lewis covered by, uncovered. And it is an 11-yard gain on Palmer's card, who remains red hot, 21-25. You know, a lot of that's been guessed right. Some of that's been guessed wrong. But a lot of that's been guessed right, and he's just hitting the right numbers or getting a top off when he hits a blank. That can happen when you have a team. Even though Ed's pass blocking is good, he's got a couple of holes there. But even with that, the lack of a pass rush is really hurting Jay. A run call to Devontae Adams, guest run 3-minute zone. Oh, and it hits a blank. So if he had been going to Demaryius Thomas, that would have been a completion. What is his snake eyes card? +12. 2nd and 10. But Gronk's got a big number on 2. Yep, long game. Of course, ifs and buts and candy and nuts and all that stuff. 2nd and 10, near midfield. Important call here. I'll tackle right. Guess wrong. Nobody's there. No tackle +8 or +35, and he gets the big one. Eddie Goldman can't make the play. The help was on the other side. They get in each other's ways. The defensive end would have been come into play if there would have been a guy in the zone. So instead of a 7-yard gain, because he would have failed to make it, it's a 35-yard gain. as Eddie Coleman messes up. He's like, I'm going to come back stronger next year. Yes, you are. Doesn't do Jay much good here. Got to hold him to a field goal because you're going to fall behind by 3 scores if you don't. Crossing pattern to Thomas, guessed wrong. 4-minute zone. That 9 on the D card. Oh, it's not. It's on the offensive card, and he guessed right. That would have been a pick. That could have been a huge momentum swing. Second and 10, 1:48 to go in the third quarter. Screen left to Breida. He's got the short yardage defense there, so that's going to be guessed wrong. It's going to pick up 9. It'll be 3rd and 1. Big play here. $1:12 to go in the third quarter. NFL Ed, who's already won 3 SOMIFA titles, I believe. Check that after this play. 3rd and 1, full house. Powell, Vereen, Sherman in the backfield. Gronk, Thomas at the receiver. We've seen Ed throw on 4th and 1 at the goal line in the first half. Catching Jay in a run call to pitch out right to Vereen. There's a man there, guessed wrong. Defensive cards is what Jay wants. Offensive cards is what Ed wants. And he gets the yard, blocking back +1 or -4. Anthony Sherman, who's brought into the game not because of his receiver ability, but because the carrier's in there usually. He's got a better short pass card, but he gets that 1 yard simply because he had that 5 in there, got boosted to a 6 due to the full house. So the attention to details here, pretty impressive job by Ed there, knowing exactly what he needed to have in the game, personnel-wise, to get the right result. 36 seconds to go. Off tackle right to Breida. Run call 2-minute zone. That loses no gain. Carrier makes the block. He's boosted from a 4 to a 5. And we're now in the fourth quarter. 19-10 Niners. 15 minutes to go in this contest. Again, Jay still has a chance to keep him to a field goal. He's got to make 2 more perfect calls. 3-4 showing blitz. You might see Ed throw here. Thomas and Gronk are obvious targets. He threw 1 to Carrier. I think he had his touchdown went to Carrier. Down and out to Breida this time. Pass call, 3-minute zone. Everybody's coming. And it's a touchdown. Hit the interception split, but with only 3-minute zone, if you don't hit it, you're going to get that +12. And there was a 16% chance of a sack as Mayowa went up against Marcus Gilbert. But it was a 90 on the random roll, and that's a 3-score game despite missing another extra point. I guess it's still technically a 2-score game because you can get a touchdown and an extra point and then a touchdown and 2-point conversion. So excuse me for saying 3-score. The 2 mixed extra points are looming large in this one. Oh, hold on. Let me get out, get back in again. We're going to check on how many titles Ed won. Okay, seems to be doing fine. First and 10 off tackle draw to Ajayi. Hoping to get that +71. Nope. Second and 10. Where's the career stats? Three, 4. Defense. Run call, looking for that good one again. Guessed wrong. It's not going to just call pass like some of us do. And it hits a blank on Goodwin's card. It's been that kind of day for Jay so far. So the SOMIFA career records. Ed's won 4 championships. Excuse me. His playoff record is an impeccable 22-9, and his regular season record is 69% winning percentage, slightly worse than his playoff winning percentage. So once Ed gets into the playoffs and has a chance to bring a title home, he seems to get the job done. Third and 10. Fourth quarter, 13:48 to go. Slant to Kyle Rudolph. Covered by a 5. Can Derek Carr convert here? Oh, he gets 9 yards on a dump off. That goes to Doug Baldwin. So he's got to go for it here, I think. Yeah, got to go for it here. And Ed's so hard to make calls against in these spots. Jay is too, because they're not afraid to call anything. They'll double team your best receiver. They'll double team your receiver covered by the worst defender. They'll run key the quarterback or the halfback. 4th and 1, 13-12 to go in the game. Got to convert here. Quarterback sneak to card. There's 2 men in zone. Guessed wrong. Offensive card good. Oh, the defensive card bad. As Damone Harris makes the play. He's a 5 against the white die 5. Would have had to call a draw there in order for that to be successful. So Ed's already in position to make it a 3-score game. They take over on the Bengals 33-yard line. I think Jay's got to be happy, even though this is not going his way. And a turnover could change this in a hurry, but he's got to be happy. Button hook to Powell. There's 2 men there. Got to be happy with the season he's had so far. Goes on the quarterback's card. Again, Palmer can do no wrong on this one. 3 touchdowns, 24-30. Let's see. Has his quarterback rating turned into a perfect rating yet? Because it certainly should be. No, it's down a little bit. 135.8. You got me. I don't know what else he could have done today to make it a perfect rating. It should be like a 150, 152 point something, no, 153 point something. 2nd and 6. Inside run to Powell. Guessed wrong. Nobody's in the zone. Blocking back +3 or +1 only gets a yard. So 3rd and 5. Let's take a look at the career record for Jacksonville Jay. He's right there with Ed, with a stellar 59% winning percentage in the regular season and a 75%, even better than Ed, winning percentage in the playoffs, bolstered by his 1 championship run where he went 3-0. So this is the 3rd year, only the 3rd year in the playoffs. Interesting, because he took over a bad team, had to rebuild for a couple of years, but he won the title. I think last year. Was it last year that he was the champ? It should be highlighted here somewhere. So that would be a good thing to add, Tom. To put the little put a little asterisk, or maybe it's already over here. 3rd and 5. Let's watch this play. We can tell who won here. Congrats. Inside run to Breida. There's a 6. So he wants it on the offensive card to hold that field goal. Still time. Offensive center +2 or +10. And Mac makes the play. The Mac at 10. Here we go. Here's the history. So Jay won 2 years ago, 2015, 13-3 in the regular season, and he beat San Francisco. This is got a little playoff rivalry going here. He beat Ed in the championship game back in that 2015 card set. First and 10. Ed just wants to use a little more clock. Flat or run is in order. He runs it. Inside run to Breida, being keyed. Jay knows there's no time to wait. Got to take some chances. Rita's a minimum fumble halfback. Good kind of player to have when you're in these spots. Second and 12, inside run to Brita. Hits a guest wrong reading for 6 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. But it eats more clock. That's what Ed wants right now. Ed stays in the 2 tight end set. Maybe another linebacker here. Try to get behind the Mac attack again. Off tackle right to Brita. Guessed wrong. Nobody's there. +9. Does he break contain? No. This time, Carlos Dansby contains the runner. It's got to take the field goal here to make it a 3-score game officially. Go from a 15-point lead to an 18-point lead, and 2 through 11 means it's good. So that's going to make it 28-10, and time is running out on the Bengals. Ed now goes 3-3-5, which I believe you can do when the score reaches a certain point. Screen right to Forte. And that picks up 10 yards. White die 6. Let's check that. Good to know these rules. We're just trying to fill time here a little bit. Where is the Constitution? Here. Control F on 3-3-5. So anytime it's fourth quarter or a 15-point or more lead, so that's what's triggering here. 12-yard pass gets right to Higbee because it's an 18-point lead. And that seems a little bit counterproductive to me because you need those. I mean, maybe it's realistic because that's what they would do in the NFL. But in Strat, you need to still be able to shoot those 3-men in zone cards without the possibility of there being 2 men in zone deep to make a comeback. Quick slant to Kyle Rudolph. 4 there, guessed right. Jay's had no problem moving today up to the 50-yard line. It just gets a little dicey after he reaches midfield. Take a quick look at the ball position for Cincinnati. He's gone touchdown, punt into half. That was a blocked. That was right after the block kick. After the blocked field goal, the blocked punt led to a touchdown by Cincinnati. Punt, field goal, downs. I'll take a right to Matt Forte. Nobody's there. Guessed wrong. 16-yard pickup. Forte's heating up a little bit. That takes it down to 31. 4 for 40 so far for Forte. That's really all it's been is 2 short gains, excuse me. And then one other decent run. I think it was the +9 that got him down to the goal line. They couldn't punch it in there. That's been a key part of the game. I'll take a right to Forte again. It moves his extra DB around, double teaming people and leaving his free safety deep so he doesn't get burned. 6 minutes to go in the game. 28-10. Off tackle right to Forte. Just try to keep hitting that short game. I don't blame him. Offensive onside in, plus 5 or 0. And a little fortunate there as Kyle Rudolph makes the block with his 4. Third and 3. Crossing pattern to Baldwin. Guessed right, 3-minute zone. And it's a must run for 0 yards. First, it would have been a first down, 2 through 7. You got to get a field goal here to make it up anyway, so you might as well kick the field goal. But Jay says, no, don't tell me what to do. I'm going for it. I'm going to get the touchdown now. Can't call timeout. You need those timeouts more than anything else. So he's like, come on. If Ed calls, I'm going to call a draw this time. Ed calls pass, puts a guy down there. I don't care. I just want to call a draw. Get my first down, keep going. Let's see if he does it. Might go for a flat. Cards are a good flat. Off tackle right with no draw. Off tackle right. The 2 guys are double teaming the receivers. There's the first down. So it keeps it alive. 4:30 to go in the game. But again, you need 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So might as well fire it up. Fire it up. And you're going to need an onside kick mixed in there. A successful onside kick or 2. 28-10. Curled a good one. He's being single covered by a 5, 3-minute zone at the 20, and does not get a favorable receiver reading. It would have been a touchdown if Ed had called run, but he's playing prevent right now, so that's not going to happen. Carr hasn't been bad today. 14 and 21 for 182. It's been the little things, the lack of third down conversions, the receiver readings not hitting when they could, finding those blanks on the cards, not punching it in from 1 yard out, and the block punt. That's the story of the game right now. Screen right to Forte. It's wide open. And that's going to be a 20-yard game. That's going to be a touchdown. So Jake gets in the end zone. I'll make it a 10-point game if he goes for 2 and makes it. But you have to do this point. You need that 2-point conversion at some point. So you get down by 10. You still have 3 timeouts left. Of course, you got to punch it in here to do that. Jay's like, don't bury me yet. To curl the ball one, 3-minute zone, guess wrong. And that's the problem with Carr's card in this set. There's too many blanks, even guess wrong. So onside kick is not successful. So now it becomes that much tougher. But Jay's still fighting. Here comes Powell back into the game. .336 to go. Good thing about the onside kicks, I don't have to disconnect since it didn't go in the end zone. Off tackle right to Powell. It'll be guessed right. Even though he's keying, there's no 2-minute zone. Gains 2, takes it to 3 minutes left. 13 runs for 68 yards for Powell. I don't think he's had a huge run today, but he's had those Alex Mack assisted 10-yard pickups here and there. His longest run of the day is, well, he did have, what, a 35-yarder. Not too shabby. Pitch out right to Powell. Get a strike, but nobody's in the zone. There's a 4 defensive end there. And it picks up 12. When it rains, it pours. That's exactly what Ed needed to ice this game. 3 more runs, and Jay will have to start using his timeouts. I think you just kick a field goal. Field goal will make it a 15-point game. Let's look at the notebook of the home team. So he's kind of shaky from 23-32, 2 through 8, and 11 and 12. I guess not shaky is not the right word. He's pretty good. But if you roll a 9 or 10, you're like, darn it, why isn't he 2 through 10? It goes full house. Content to just ram it up the middle, get the benefits of the run blocking increase by 1 to his offensive line. Inside run to Burrito. That'll take us down to 206. I believe. Unless he calls timeout here. No, at 206-2, if he would have called timeout. Without a timeout, it goes up to 2 minutes. So now he's going to start using those timeouts. 2nd and 10. So best case scenario, 152, 145. Then Ed will kick a field goal. And Jay will get the ball back with 1 timeout and 1:37 to go in the game, needing 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Yeah, that's it. Piece of cake. But like I said, Jay's got a lot to be proud of. This is not really what I would look at the rosters and think this is a championship team, and he nearly took them to the Super Bowl. Nose tackle -1 or +2, and Goldman, like I said, will be great next year. This year, a little shortchanged on the run defense. Ed's playing this smartly, not taking any chances. Inside run to Burrito, 2 men in zone. So here's the last. Use his timeout. Here comes the field goal attempt. As long as it's not a 9 or 10, it'll be in. The field goal is good. And get ready to disconnect. Maybe he'll do a squib kick. Do a squib kick. Yes, he does a squib kick. Actually, he just did a regular kickoff. But fortunately for us, it landed 10 plus 4. And instead of 137, it's 130 now because the return took another tick off the clock. So 31-16 needs to go 80 yards. Oh, the time changed to 122. Probably a little bit off on the host, and that's the old timing bug between the host and the visitor. (3-2-6) defense for Ed. As with Luke Stucker in the game and the fullback 4 wide set, there will be no time for running. Dump off still in play here up until I think 30 seconds left in the game, maybe 45, something like that. Curl the good one. being double covered by the free safety. So this is going nowhere unless we get a dump off. We do not. And it'll be 2nd and 10. So Ed aggressively going after the best yardage receiver there, the one that has the long gain on 3. That's pretty much the only thing that'll sink him is a long game. Let's look at Baldwin's card. I think he's got a long gain on 12 or 2. It's on 2 guessed right. 2 and 12 guessed wrong. There's not going to be any guessed wrong calls from here on out. So he's not going to be able to hit the zero minute zone card or even the 1 minute zone card on a deep pass. Those is going to always have 2 minute zones. So you need a receiver reading on a short pass and to hit one of those long gain on the edges. But Ed will be watching for that. Moncrief has Grant's got nothing exciting on his. So Moncrief also has a long gain on 2. Sideline right to Doug Baldwin. It's a 4 there. Picks up 6. Does not get out of bounds. Jay should use that timeout. How do you get down the field in a hurry with a quarterback that's not great on the bombs in this set? Jay comes in here. His long gains on 9. That's not bad, but you're risking interceptions with a direct double team by Ed, or the interception on 2 minute zone. What's Jay's longest reception? He's got a 32-yarder in him. Maybe look for a flat pass to Ajayi here, trying to get it out of bounds. Bomb to Baldwin, being double covered by a free save by the linebacker at 2 minute zone. So that's destined to fail. 4th and 4. Last gasp saloon, folks. Button hook to Ajayi. You can get 30 here. Get to 30 yards closer. Or he can get you 9. Keeps the chains moving. Got to spike it now. But it's pretty much all over with the crying. So Ed advances to the Super Bowl. So he's won those 4 titles. It doesn't really say how many times he's been to the Super Bowl, but he lost that one, so that's at least 5 trips. Let's look at the history here. That's a history thing. Should say it. I'm at the Constitution. I can find it there. All right, so let's see if he has any other losses. Win. Bomb to Moncrief hits a long gain, 33 yards. Got to spike it again. Can't get out of bounds on a long pass. Did you know that? Only on a shorter flat pass. So San Francisco lost in 2005 as well. So There's 2 times he's lost. That's it. So this will be his square out right to Marquise Goodwin. Single cover, Gaston gets a 15-yarder. Can he get out of bounds? He does. So that means it's 4 championships and 2 championship losses. This will be his 7th time making it to the Super Bowl in 16 years. So 7 out of 16 years has been in the finals. Pretty darn good. But I could be missing one here. Just read it, right? I think that's it. Yeah, it looks like 2 championship losses and 4 championship wins. So 4 and 2. It's Tom Brady type numbers. 22 seconds left. Got to get in the end zone quickly to even have a chance at one last Hail Mary. Crossing pattern to Doug Baldwin. Single cover, 4-minute end zone. Incomplete. 15 seconds left. So this is it, folks, because if you get in the end zone here. Oh, sorry, you guys have this room? All right, let me get out of here. All right. Pardon me. Sorry, guys. All right, so I got moved out of the room, which is fine because I only had it till 2:30. So 3rd and 10, that goes for a complete 4th down. Now it's just a matter of pride trying to find that end zone. My lunchtime here on the West Coast, 2:30. Took a late lunch. Inside run draw to Jay Ajayi. Picks up the 19. He's going to get in the end zone. I love it. So nice job there. And that'll make it a final score of. Well, he's going to go for 2. Might as well. Last play of the season. Get the offense up there. So the kicker. So this will be the last play of the season for the Bengals. And the 49ers, congratulations. They advanced to the championship game again. For the 7th time. Off tackle right to Forte Gaston, 1-man end zone. And it's in. So there you go. Nice ending there for the Bengals, who, if they just would have been able to punch in that one drive, maybe this would have been a different story. Final score, San Francisco. Sure. Steve.